Come on, Wallow. On again. Come on, wee my Pip. Don't know how much walking we're going to get here, Pip. Oh, I get these car keys. This is Lifford. Well, let's see if we get this. I'm trying to get this message up, but of course there's no internet. Always the case. Hold on, make it internet. Make it internet. Got a message from Robert here, from the USA. Couple of things, Dad. Just found your channel. My mother was born near Lifford. Here's near Lifford. Couple of old houses over there. And was a war bride, so I'm an Irish citizen. But my interest lies in the area as I spent 2 summers as a child visiting my aunt and many relatives there. Most are gone now, but my cousins and her family live near Raphoe. My aunt had a house in Drumboy Hill outside Lifford. So that's, I reckon, what the house was. It's not I was up with the vet with Willow earlier on. Bad news with Willow, but we're going to carry on as normal. We're going to carry on, pet, aren't we? No point in worrying about it. But I reckon the big house he's on about is up behind them trees. Now you can see that these are all brand new houses here, like they're all pretty new. So he reckons that there's a wee thatched cottage here. But I would say for now the thatched cottage, if not on the road, underneath that grass there. A lot of these roads were all done up with the EC, but maybe 10, 20 years ago maybe. He was here 2 years ago trying to find the old house, but it was replaced by upscaled homes. That'll be these ones here. It was an estate big house owned by Mr. Barry. Gone away. Now there's another one I was looking at. My mom was born in a thatched house. I know his mother was born in a thatched house near Kelvin, Ballindrate. I can't ever say I've been in Ballindrate. It's not far from here. I'm at the vet, we'll take a wee scoot out. So the big house is up on there. We need to cross the path and take. You can't get around houses that people are living in. But I looked it up on the internet, and that looks like it there. But on the internet, it looks like it's not a big estate. I would say that would be a wealthy middle class house. It's not a big landlord, but they have plenty of money. Some of a doctor or something would have. Headmaster or something like that. So we're going to Ballindrate after. So I'm just going to walk up here. You can see the type of houses that's here now, but this would have been fields back on his Mother's Day. The only thing is, the other road, the other side of the road would be original. And I'd imagine them houses back then, they wouldn't have had running water or toilets. So his mother would have had to walk down the road, or a well, which she could have had out here. This is all fields. And it's not all throwing a bucket down. You can have a wee pump in the garden. Them wee pumps you pump like. So people always thinking wells is throwing a bucket down like Jack and Jill. Even today, modern houses can still use wells. Electric pumps. Or I imagine out here probably was a well, you know. In the village, you would have had the pumps, and then they would change the mains water. But they put the mains water into the pumps, so you still had to walk out of your house and down the street with your bucket to get your water. I done it as a win for a neighbour. My mum had a home help for a wee woman, and she lived in the town, but it was a very old house. Early roast to man. Traffic lights is there now, big junction. Well, there's no footpath over there. But yeah, they walked down with a bucket of water, fill the bucket up and take it in, and that would have done her for the day, like. No shower or nothing like that back then, 10 baths. And for years after, these outdoor toilets, whenever the mains water came and sewage came, They didn't put them in the houses. They put them in the outdoor toilets. So the outdoor toilets would have been a bucket. You'd have got a nice wee flush toilet out there. But then you had to go out during the night, not outside. And people still had the tin baths. It's a farm there, well, there's no one down there. It's a very busy main road here, like. And when you cross over here on this grass, not down this wee island again, Willow. Down this wee island. So, after, when people got water put into their houses and bathrooms put in, you had to sacrifice a bedroom. They didn't give up the outdoor toilets, they still held on to outdoor toilets. So for years you had lots of houses with outdoor toilets. I did. St. Jude's Court, this is called now. Cross over here on this wee lay-by over here, well. So what I see of the message, I reckon when they were away and they might have took a wee scoot around this house, you know, maybe. That's saying they did do, like, but you know, young scallywags and all back in them days, they might have went and pinched the odd wee apple and things of orchards and stuff like that. Got that Conkers here. If you remember playing with Conkers is away. The Conkers, look at this playing with Conkers. Conker tree's still here. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of Conkers here. All that there, boys. I don't know if you have Conkers, you probably have Conkers in America, like, but oh, the big thing here when I was away. Some people, we would have put a hole in the middle and put a shoelace to it, and you'd play Conkers. It's banned now in schools now because some Wayne might lose their eye, like. But you'd play Conkers, and some boys reckon if you steep them in vinegar and put them in the oven, it made them harder. I don't know if it did or not, like. But there's the big house up on there now. Who lives in a house like this? So it's still a well-maintained house. You can't go into the garden, like. This is their land, right enough. So it just looks like it's on the internet. Oh no, well. The only problem with on the lead, the camera keeps going with this because I'm having to change the lead all the time. What likes to think that? So the camera never works out well with her in the lead. But there's going to be nothing to see out here as far as pumps and maybe they've got a wee milestone or something like that, but I didn't see nothing like that, and what's that sticking out there for? Yeah, it's just crap. Sometimes you might a wee mile marker or something. It might be original. But when they've done these roads up, everything gets ripped out because everything was such a bad state. Look at that wee garden wall. That would have been there when your mother was here. And that house would have been here when your mother was here. So your mother might have visited the ones up on there. In that house. Still the odd old thing about here yet. And this wee house is old. Saying that, you know, there's quite a few upmarket houses here for the time. Well, it's not perfect. It's not very good for walking puppies, is it? Well, too much traffic. I'll have to turn around here now. And that's not really a pedestrian in the middle. That's just traffic calming. That's because people are mad driving here. Ballandrate now, we're going to Ballandrate. I'll let you off here now. If anyone knows about Ballandrate, I looked it up on Google Maps. Smith Mills Strabane. It was going when I was away. Used to have a terrible stinker. I saw another video done, a video of Strabane, Smith Mills, and that's where I started off the video. And it had big funnels, something like you get in a ship, on the roof, and these big steel funnels were turned. And they turned them depending on what way the wind blew. And depending if the wind was blowing towards you, it stank. And the mill was bought up by this crowd in Ballindrate, and then the one in Staban was closed down. The mill is still standing there. It should have been knocked down years ago. I don't know how it's still standing, but parts of it are still used for the businesses, but most of it's a ruin. Right in the middle of the town centre. But I was looking up Ballindrate there, and they actually call themselves Smith and Sons. They've got the Staban name on that mill in Ballindrate. So I'm curious just to take a wee look at that when I'm there. It'll be a modern mill now, probably. Oh, now, Pep, animal feeds. Do animal feeds. That must be sewage or something in there. Wee pit. Must be a wee pump. I've got a wee bit of a cycle lane here, well. The thing I know about the public, that is quite a big house there, you know. The thing I know about the public, a while all these houses, the estates went up, Celtic Tiger times, big money in houses, they couldn't build enough of them. A lot of the ones in Donegal have fallen down, the bad breeze blocks, them ones there, they look okay. But the breeze blocks have got stuff in it, the houses literally just fall to dust. But there's so many of them just the same. And nice, if you own one, it'd be a nice wee house to have. But the majority of these houses, if you want to sell them, are not worth with the mortgages that people own in them. Celtic Tiger stopped. They build them everywhere. But when they build these housing estates, they don't put in no play parks or nothing for wheels. No bus stops. We'll continue on now, well. Next destination. Ballindrate. You see, there's that many wee places in Donegal. You fly through them and wouldn't even know where you are. It's too many. It's far too many. And Ballindrate should be one of them wee places. Maybe I have been through it. There's no need to go through it. You're going to Letterkenny, you don't go to it. Most people on that road's going to Letterkenny. So we're going to Ballindrate next, Pet. And I hope it's a wee town we can walk, a wee village we can walk through. Because Willow likes walking through towns. Wee Willow, I've basically been told that Willow's got months to live. But Willow doesn't know that. And it's going to break my heart, and I'm trying not to... I can't be sad in front of Willow. Oh, he had a wee crying in car park right enough, didn't he, Willow? I'm sure Willow will cry tonight too. But not in front of Willow. No, we had to keep everything happy for Willow. Don't we? Yes, we do. We have to keep everything happy for Willow. And I'm going to turn a blind eye to you scrounging a wee bit more too. Oh, aye. But I've noticed Willow this last way. I walk around my own housing estate and all. Things is way slow. But when you get her away, she livens up. So getting away is what Willow needs. And Willow likes towns. So we might stop doing big country parks and all. And stick to more towns, Willow likes. Do more sniffing and all. And there's another wee lump on the other side. The vet told me the 6 lumps and I can feel the other one now. We're terrified to go looking, you see, Pet. We're terrified to go looking, but Pets at home didn't find it. Why did Pets home not find that other one? I don't know, Pet. What are you Ballindrate? We're in Ballindrate now. But it's not the kind of wee village you can walk a dog. There's still a wee government cottage, or not a wee thatch cottage. Still there. But it's, you see all these wee lanes all that go off. But it's not really the kind of place I can walk, Willow. And let's see what I can tape here. That's probably why you don't know you've been here. It's one of them places you fly through. A wee bit of a stream, very small stream. There's not much for me really to get out and walk. There's an old building back there. The wee steps going up there. Oh well, there's something about that tablet there. I see that wee river over there. Not really anywhere I can really park here. This is it. So it's not really a place at the bar there. It's not a place you can actually walk. I think I stopped once to check out that tablet there, you know, and there wasn't a lot I could do to check out. Not something I can really walk with Wallow. They're Friday of the Earls, that's what it is. Friday the Earls, they're meeting this bridge or something here. There'll be something on Google about it. Very hard to see that writing now, it's pretty war. They must have met up here. Hey boys, let's go for it. So something like that. I'm sure there's more detail on Google. Oh, the right wee river on there. It's my power wee mill. There's the bus stop there. You could, you know, on this day before all the traffic, you can imagine people would have walked this like, over to a buzzy place. But for me to do it now, Wallow could be dodgy like. Raphoe's just down here. So see, if I was going here, I'd have went to Raphoe. Don't know what this is going to look like on the GoPro, but as you can see, there's not much you can really film. I'll film on the way back again. No footpaths at all, just right in the middle of the wee bit of a footpath. The car behind me, but it's going to have to wait. You see, people look, you know the line. Folk in here now, they don't know. They do know how to drive, you know. This footpath here. I'm not about indicating, I think I'm a local. So the mill must be down that road there. See, if you even change your mind, if that gate blocked off with wire, see the tight over here, I tell you, they don't even want you to turn. Dodgy enough, dodgy enough. Even walking here would be dodgy. I would say it's all tight, you know. Why there's no footpath on this day and age, I don't know, because there's quite a few houses here. That wee thatched cottage about the best preserved house. But I'll see that wee house over there, that could be as old. They put plaster on it and a modern roof, but a lot of these buildings are still as old as that cottage. That's it now, another car behind me. So that's Ballinbrit, County Donegal, Ireland. There's an old farm there, that's a pretty big place for it to stay, isn't it? Wee round windows and all. They were saying on the internet, that big house, I see main names. The house where that man first, his aunt lived outside Lifford. The good big house, the swanky one, had round windows in it. You see that there's also got round windows in it. And what they were saying was the local builder, he liked his round windows. So that's a wee thing. If you see all these wee round windows around this area, it's the same builder built it. So that old farm place there will be as old as that big house. If only I can remember the names, well, the one that's just outside Lifford, it's the same builder. See the wee round windows there, like, might be wee horses and all on there. By one time too, that's it all. We don't know, Americans probably do know this, but years ago in Ireland used to have hiring fairs, and you would have hired Waynes would have hired themselves out for 6 months, and some done well, some done badly, but a lot of times they would have lived up on top of sheds like that. Now, I'm not saying a Wayne lived up in there, but that's usually you get a wee outbuilding and these steps going up, and the Waynes would have hired out would have slept up in there. They would go into the main house to get their food, probably porridge or something like that, probably spuds. But a lot of times they were slept outside, and they got paid at the end of the 6 months. And then you can go off and get rehired with the same man again, or rehired by a different farmer. They've been hiring fairs on for a long time. Back down in Lifford again, just past that big house. This main road wouldn't have went straight on the way it does now. So once you pass this petrol station, back at the time your aunt and all lived here, and your mother came from here, they would have went down through the town. So the road would have went straight ahead there where that grass is. That's the road down there now. And once you get in the town, you get an idea how wide it is. Like, you bear in mind that the town streets would have been wider than the main road would have been back when they built it. So this is the old main road. So if your mother and aunt now were walking to the train station, they'd have come down this way here. We can now disembark here, Willow. I've already done a video on Lifford, but I'll just walk out the wee route that their aunt would have took. See everything from that time left. Come on, Willow. What I like is just going through streets. Still, I my stone walls. They were there when your relatives were here. So I would say even this road's been widened out, but that stone wall would be the original road. And here with this concrete path and all, that's actually been widened out. So the road would have been narrower than this. Another big house over there. There's the old property there in front. Look how narrow the footpath is, and all of my steel telegraph poles. That's the way it would have been years ago, more like that. You wouldn't have had your wheelchair access and all of that. I was there when these houses were built, they didn't have footpaths, you just walk straight out onto the street. Horse and carriages turn up and down, there wouldn't be. And most people walked like. You didn't walk very far. You got a job somewhere, they give you a house. That's a pretty big building. Look how far back it goes. Traditional chippy. It's empty now. I wouldn't have thought about paint. I don't know. I wouldn't have painted a chippy blue. Is there not something about colours and appetite? They didn't do blue Smarties. Smarties in the UK here are wee round chocolate things. I know Smarties in the USA is different. And since it's American, might be watching this video, different Smarties. But they didn't do blue Smarties for years because people didn't like blue. Like that wee house over there would have been there when your relatives were here. There are lots of wee old properties. Well, you're zigzagging all over the place. Oh, a puppy over there. Oh no. That's the Irish Army barracks. Started off as a house. And then the modern bit's not used anymore. I just seen it knocking down the wall at the back. But the old part is at the other side, it's the house at the other side. See the military barracks down the other side. So I don't know if I start off as a house or I'll say start off as a house. I don't know, it looks a wee bit it's grey, I don't know. They were saying about the wee train. The wee train was an hour gauge. Donegal Railways. And the station was down this street, down this direction. The station's still there. One of that wee building's still standing there, isn't it? Look at the wee iron bars on it. It's very tight wee junction, this street here. Look at the outdoor knob and all. Look at the wee keyhole. Isn't that cute the way that's cut out, that wee keyhole out of the wood? Oh, wee proper carpeted on that. No way fancy like the toes when that wee door was made. Up our main street. So I think this is Lower Main Street. When I was away, and I remember there was an orange hall along the street. It was an empty orange hall. It was been used for something else. And King William was on the top of it, and his face all hacked off. Don't see it now. But the new building down there, and this was there, it's been knocked down. Oh, you got a barber with a black pole. I suppose that's modern. Hi there. This will be like the wee posh part of Lifford down here now. Grand buildings. That's the Garda. The police station. Lifford would be more important than Staban, way back 100 years ago. You had the ford, so going back to the time of King James, King William and the siege of Derry, King James came through Lifford, and this is the way he came through Lifford and to go down to Derry. Today you go through Staban to go down that direction, but back then he came through here. There was no main road at the other side. There's a bit of an old fort in there. So all these old forts, you always had your barracks and all beside them, didn't you? Castles and things. It's not how to tell you the history. But you can see wee gunning placements and stuff. The old court and the jail. There was somebody hung here. I don't think not so long ago. Might have been in the 30s or 40s. I'm not 100% sure. I need to check up on that. But people were hung. Rope around the neck. That's the President Court they use today. So I don't know if they're hung out here or where they're hung them. I'm going to read this wee plaque. It was definitely... You're not chatting hundreds of years ago. The jail was demolished in 1907. So the jail's gone away. The courthouse operated in 1938. Fell into disrepair. Customs post was closed in 1993. So throughout the 19th century, the jail, the courthouse, the Hansard School and the County House of Correction of Juveniles, so you can even do one of them today, you know, dominate the diamond. So it's all the bad boys all down here. It's a posh part now, like, but it was all the riffraff was stuck down here. Under the 1898 Local Government Ireland Act, Donegal Council met for the first time on the 22nd of April 1899 in Lifford Courthouse. So there's a weird thing now with Donegal. Donegal County Council is still based here, even though Letterkenny would be the capital of Donegal. But the council still have council buildings down there. The council took over the grand jury administrative functions. It was based on the County House of Correction building, which was gutted by a fire in 1925 and reopened in the 1930s. Gutted by a fire in 1925. See, that could be part of the Easter Rising, Civil War, all that kind of stuff. Mysterious firewall, mysterious fire. Plantation of Ulster. Your man granted land in 1612. They brought over English and Scottish settlers to occupy the land, built houses, a school, a church, and fortifications. Lifford town received incorporation in February 1613. Church was built in 1621. Contains a monument to Sir Richard and his wife. Got the Victoria Cross during the Crimean War and buried from the grounds of the church. Where's this boy hung now? Courthouse 1746. I know when the boy was hung. Prisoners including half-hung McNulton was held in the cells here. Didn't know he was held here. Local story, not a story. Not far from where I live now is a big house. This man, McNulton, fell in love with this girl. Oh, he had money, she has money. And you didn't love people back then. You married for what you had to marry, the money and all that, but they loved each other. But the father was having none of it. Oh, that day, you scallywag, you're not having my daughter. So he thought he would shoot the father. It was handy back in them days, no forensics. So the father was travelling along in the horse and carriage, and he shot the father. But missed the father and shot the woman he loved, and she died. So he was taken to court there, and he rounded up with the red coats or whatever it was, and he was to be hanged. But the first time they hung him, the rope broke. Second time they hung him, the rope broke. And I think it was, if you hung 3 times and the rope broke, you got free. Don't know if it was twice or second, but the rope broke anyway. He could have walked free. And he says, no, I don't want to be called half-hung McNulton. So he got up in the gallows and went again and killed himself. But he's still known today as half-hung McNulton. So it doesn't matter if he took his own life. The name is stuck today. And if it wasn't for that, nobody would know nothing about him. They came from Pre-Hen House down Mountain Day. Came a hospital, no, the first county hospital was built in Lifford in 1773. Nothing about the hanging, so I don't know, I heard it somewhere. Oh, she's given up. See, you in history, don't get on. Mom, we're down to the wee train station, and then we'll see about going then. It's all very well having all this wee nice place, but it's empty, there's nobody here. A wee church where your man's buried with the Victoria Cross in the Crimean War. He's buried in that church. The only thing down here now is a cinema. Council offices. It's a funny place to put a cinema. Because you see the place is empty, but you have to go through the busy junction to get here. If they had another wee bridge across the river to Ban, this place could be bustling here. Too much traffic on the one road and everybody's just busy getting through. There's a station in front there now. So the post office building, the grey building, that's an extension onto the station. The station's to the left of it and the station's to the right of it. To the left is painted grey, to the right it's cream. So they must have got part of the station at one time. The other side now is private. That's just family ducks. So that's a part of the wee station. It's not very big. Trains weren't very big. So like, what had you to do? I probably even had outdoor toilets back then. I don't know. But that's the wee station there, that's the platform. They're built out over the platform. There's the original wall. Oh, there's puppies on there. And that's where the railway line would have been there now. A whole pile of puppies. The big greyhound racing here. So obviously the rest of that station's been used for greyhounds. And there's the concrete now, that Micah. All these buildings are found down Donegal and Micah. That's not the worst there. I've seen far worse than that. But the concrete is just breaking up. Government buildings and all built with. And say that's not too bad, that's just cracks. But it's actually houses falling down. So what they do, they have to test it out. On the radio all day, £6,000 it costs to prove your house is affected by Micah. And once you got that proof, you don't have to pay rates on it. It's funny how the station got divided in two. But there's the doorway in there, like. It's not ideal steps for a station, is it? But I would say in its time, the ground level would have been higher. You wouldn't have had that high ramp on. So because the post office got it, they wanted to load the lorries up. So they probably just dug down for handiness. See, things change over the years. But that very doorway there, your relatives could have walked into that doorway. I often think these two buildings are interesting. That modern block of flats over there is as identical age to this block. But because the Celtic Tiger came to an end and the money ran out, that block was finished. That block wasn't. You wouldn't think the two are the same age, would you? That could have been the same as the other one. It's funny to see. So there's the rest of East Station there. So the station is different buildings, that's why the post office got part. That wee building is separate from the other building. So maybe you would have had your waiting room for the folk to go in. Maybe you would have had your wee station master's house as a wee office. Where they would go and have the wee stove and put the kettle on for the hour dinner break. Back in the days you used to get an hour dinner break. You won't get an hour for your dinner break now, pet. You can't get a tail break if you work 6 hours. I don't want to get too close now, all these puppies will. The river is pretty high today. Yeah, back up the speed. Well, let's go and drive down these puppies, man. You can still walk part of the railway line on the Strabane side. If you look at my video on Strabane, near the end of it, fast forward over halfway through, and near the end of it, I'm on the railway line. And I walk the wee railway line that brings up to the bridge here. Well, this way now, well,